several reasons why I don't necessarily um, celebrate, you know, the holidays. I'm just not a holiday kind of guy. But I will say I do remember being able to spend so much time with family and friends. Like you've probably heard, Mr. Witz and I'm from the UK, but sending great love. Thank you so much, and thank you for tuning in. I'm back. Like I didn't know. It's good to meet folks. I hope that I'm following you. Obviously, you're following me, so hopefully, you continue to come out and hang out with us and support, watch some open mics. Um, if you have YouTube in the UK, I'm Coach Jah Smalls on YouTube. You can watch the show on YouTube. You can talk and make comments and leave messages and things like that. So thank you so much for tuning in. If you're watching on um, YouTube or Facebook, and this is Coach Jah Corporate Coach in the mornings. I do it every morning, Monday through Friday from 10 to 11. And some of the guests are on IG are making mention about some things. And it's a guest her name is I'm Back. And she's saying that she's from the UK. Another one of the major things that I do actually love about since COVID had changed things for us, right? Yes, you are, and I'm not been to beg. Oh my gosh, you must be up cooking. Mike in the building, Kendra in the building. You must be up cooking. I'm back. I hope that you're having a good time cooking that turkey and whatever it is. If that's what you do, I don't know. Do they celebrate? They probably don't celebrate this in the UK. They might not celebrate. I don't know. I don't know. But I'm not a holiday person. I don't celebrate the holidays. My mom did not allow us to. She did not stop us from celebrating or hanging out with our family members and things of that nature. We still did that because people have their own ideas and beliefs, and that's fine. I don't knock people for what they believe or what they feel, and it's not my business on how they want to portray those things. It's all good. It's all love, and I'm here for it. Whatever's going to make you happy that doesn't interfere with my happiness, I'm fine with that. Mike, listen. Last night, so y'all that on IG and watching. If you did not watch last night my mom, so E-Baby Poems hit us up. He was like, "Listen, I want y'all to feature for us," and it was really not an easy task to be prepared for this feature. There was so much that we had to do, so much that on my end and which end both of us just had so much going on that we could not spend a lot of time with. Getting to do a set, prepare a set. I had poems in my mind that I thought I could do. There was a lot of different things that Miss Nikki, how you doing? A lot of things in my mind that I wanted to do, but just my mindset just wasn't there. And the beautiful thing about this work that we do, right, about being poets, is that in the hot skip and the jump, we're instantly on to something else. We're on to the next. What's going to be the next thing? What am I going to do? And it just so happened that I pulled a set, snatched 3 poems, boom. In all actuality, I had a couple of poems in my brain that I was going to do. Had a couple of poems that I said I wanted to do initially start off, and I told Rich, you know what, this is what I'm starting off with. And I totally went against what I was starting off with. The only poem that I did keep that I planned to have from the beginning was the one about my son. Like I feel like the more I put that energy out there, the better chance I have at mending a relationship. And at the end of the day, I don't want my sons to ever say my dad didn't try. And what I've learned about men, my sons are no longer little boys; they're men now. What you learn about men is men, for whatever reason, we it's almost like we enjoy staying capsulized in that one thing. It's like we enjoy being in that one space, and I don't know why we do that, but we do. We do. And we keep ourselves locked in. Oh, wow, I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to do that. One of the things that men need to do is pay attention to how women deal with people that they just don't like or loved ones that they've had, interactions with that haven't been the best. And I think that's one of the things that men need to do. Men need to pay attention to how women do it, because women have this thing, man. Y'all can either turn it all the way off or y'all have a dial, and y'all can move that dial any way you want. You give somebody 15%, you give them 0.15%. You can give them, I'm saying? Y'all do that. But with men, we just turn it all the way up or all the way off. We don't normally ride in between. It's always all the way up or all the way off. And I think that's one of the things that men, we struggle with that. We struggle with that idea of um, I could bend just a little bit. And we only bend when we know that there's an advantage point. And I think that's a very it is, Tiffany. It's one of those things. I think it's an advantage point that we could use to do better if we paid more attention to it. Right. So and here's my thing. We don't. I say this all the time. It goes back to that whole thing about manning up. What I'm saying, and being a man, and man up, man up. You gotta be tough. You gotta be this. You gotta be that. And I think that ends up being a major part of our downfall, or it stagnates our growth. Like we can't get any further than this because we keep saying that this man up thing. I absolutely hate that phrase. I hate the idea of saying man up because what is that? You know what I'm saying? What is every situation is different. Um, every man has been into a fight at some point, no matter what the fight was. And if that fight was whether you won or lost, there's a point where you had to make a decision in that fight. But nobody fights the same. Everybody's fight is different, even if you're fighting over the same thing, right? Even if you're fighting over the same scenario, every fight is different. But the one thing that stays similar with men, that stays regular with men, that's a normal thing with men is we fight the way we fight, and that's it. We don't believe in fighting any kind of way. We're not going to change what we think is the thing for us. And that's why I think we go wrong. We don't look at all of the avenues, and I think we hurt from that. Mike says women normally just turn off from people they don't groove with. I'm a work it out kind of person. That's what's up, Mike. And I'll be honest. So I'm 48 years old now. It took me some time to graduate to that. I can be bitter. I can be, heartless at some point. I can give you a cold shoulder. I can do all of those things, but my heart does not rest well when I'm like that. You know what I'm saying? My heart does not do well when I'm not standing up to what I should be standing up to. My heart just won't do well. Oh, that's what's up, Miss Nikki. That's what's up. Did y'all go? Did any of y'all see Manny yesterday? Everybody go on Manny's page yesterday? He was doing all that chopping food and cooking and doing veggie lasagna. I'm gonna be honest with you. I love to eat. I haven't been feeling that good this whole week, man. And my appetite's been just upside down. Haven't been really eating well, and I don't know what's going on with me. I'm trying to do the best I can. I'm drinking hot stuff and making sure make sure it's not no COVID, nothing, or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Because that stuff is running around rampant. But I do know that I I love food, man. I love to hear about food. Like when Manny was talking about he's making this. If y'all know, Manny is Emmanuel Lewis. That's what they call him. I just jumped in line. And here's something crazy I want to say too. I'm on Emmanuel Lewis's page. Every time I go on this page, somebody types in oh gosh, they call him what's Arnold's real name? Arnold from Different Strokes. Have you been tired lately? I have been tired lately. I have been a little tired and lazy and laying around, but not exhausted. Just kind of like I don't have it in me to go. Body was not been sore. Gary, right? They keep calling him Gary Coleman, which is the dumbest thing. I'm like, know who the hell people are. But I've been a little tired lately. But it hadn't been the worst for me. Like I'm okay. I'm okay. I'm okay. I just wanted to I just want to get back to my normal thing. And I know that I have a lot of stress going on right now. November is never a good month for me. I deal with so much in November. It's just a lot, man. And what's today's day? Today is today's the 27th, right? Tomorrow's the 27th. Tomorrow's my brother's birthday. So yeah, it's very disrespectful to call him that. You know what I mean? Like just take a moment. You know what I mean? Now I can see if you forgot the exact name. Like I forgot Gary Coleman's name. I get it, but I know the difference between the two. Like I'm not going to call Emmanuel Lewis Gary Coleman. You know what I'm saying? When you're going through something, it's all yeah. And that's what I think it is because I'm going through some stuff. It's got me down. If you still aren't feeling well by Sunday, you should go get tested. Miss Nikki, my only question about going to get tested and all of that is I would rather just if I'm still feeling bad, because it's not like I'm down. Like I've done my show every day. I have been, might not been eating well, but that comes with my depression too. But I haven't been doing the things that I normally do as much. But I have been able to go out and do stuff, go to the store, things like that. But I don't want to go in there and get tested when I'm already doing what I need to do because they can't do anything. It's not like they have a medication for me, whether it's a flu or anything like that. Um, and I appreciate you. I don't want to seem like I'm just being rude. I appreciate you. Um, but even in that, there's nothing that they can do outside of what I'm already doing. So for me, if I'm not crashing and I'm not really just out of it, I don't know that that's what I want to do. I just don't trust so much of what they're going to tell me and what they're going to give me and what they're going to say. I don't trust it. They don't have anything to fix it. So for me, I just want to just go ahead and continue to do what I'm doing. Right, Gary Coleman, right. Right, Emmanuel. So Mike said Gary Coleman is dead and had a trouble in his past. He said Emmanuel Lewis never been in the bad press. Like exactly, very two different people. Which I love to watch both of their shows. Right. The funny thing for me is going on Emmanuel Lewis' show. When you go on Manny's show and he does his laugh. Because you forget that laugh is really his laugh, and that wasn't like a made up laugh. Like that's really how he laughs. His laugh is so funny. It is the funniest thing. High talent in the building. Connect with natural, and it's hard because the connect is natural, and it's hard because the season is transitioning to winter from things that are dormant. Daylight savings, time doesn't, but help but connect with things that bring you joy. Thank you so much, September Virgo. Thank you so much. I totally agree with that. Manny is an amazing man. Absolutely. And you know what? I'm glad you said man because we got to remember he's not a little boy. He's not a little boy. And it's amazing that he still looks the same as when he first came on the set. Like the first time he saw him on this TV, still looks exactly the same. Yeah, same exact laugh when he was a kid. Right. And I'm like, wow, that in itself is amazing. We're talking about Gary. Here we go. Now I'm saying Gary Coleman. We're talking about Emmanuel Lewis and his laugh. His laugh is just super amazing. And when he comes on and he starts doing, and then when he puts his glasses on, you realize that he's aged a little bit, right? And then you get to you get to hear him do that laugh when he sees something funny. Another thing I like about him too, he shows a lot of love. He expresses love, and he enjoys people. And I don't think he get much better than that. He actually enjoys people and being around people. That is super dope. Super dope. It is infectious. It really is. And I like that we've met people on his platform and become at least friends on social media, if you would, with people on his platform. Actually, people have come and bought my books from his platform as well. So that's always a good thing too. But yeah, I'm enjoying so much of it. And I think Emmanuel, what's good? What's good? What's good? E. Cole in the building. I think because some places are starting to lock down again. I think we might be getting ready for another lockdown. And with that being said, I'd like to say that I think we're going to get a little more togetherness, if you would, like because we're going to have to. We're going to have to lock up again. We're going to have to just, back down and stay inside and stuff like that. So, yeah, man, I don't know. I don't know what to look forward to next, but it's coming. This new wave is here. And I think we need to figure out, what we're going to do as far as a family on this social media stuff. I love that his messages was saying is defy the odds about happy despite odds. Yes, and that's the thing. Like, so no matter what you go through in life, I say if it don't make you, if it don't break you, it don't make you, it's gonna break you. If it don't break you, it's gonna make you. Here's the thing. You still got another shot at it. You still got another shot at it. Shadeen, what's good? If you got another shot at it, right? You gotta go ahead and get it. You gotta act like you got another shot at it. Jersey numbers are crazy. Yeah, Jersey just locked down too. Who else? They know Chicago locked down too. California don't even want you coming in there. So I'm Florida numbers. I just try to ignore Florida. I figured out about Florida. Florida just does what it wants to do. So Florida, I think probably, well, they don't even lock people down. They just do whatever they want to do in Florida. But I know that Charlotte, North Carolina was spiking up too. I shut down my driving event because of that. The driving had to shut down because they with that massive building, it was down to a 50 people maximum. And then after COVID started spiking up again, they cut it down to 25. So in my opinion, if they're shutting it down, the best thing for me to do is shut it down. It does don't try to be greedy. Don't try to do too much. Go ahead and shut it down, and then do whatever's coming next. That's just what I did. It was a wise decision. I miss it already. You know what I'm saying? But it's the smart thing to do. It is the smart thing to do. Don't put yourself in danger. Don't put other people in danger. You know what I'm saying? So I wasn't going to do that. So yeah. So what y'all cooking? Talk about it. Let's just talk about. Let's just celebrate y'all today. What are y'all cooking? Because I know y'all cooking some stuff. What y'all cooking? Or are you cooking? That's another thing. They live in their own reality in Florida. Yes. When I watch the elections, I'm not telling people who to. Oh, and listen, I can say this. Me and AJ are coming with some stuff very, very soon for y'all. If you don't know who AJ Houston is, I suggest you find out who he is and follow him. But AJ and I have some things that we are putting together for our people, for our community. Got a lot of stuff going on. And I'm really, really, really looking forward to it. Really looking forward to it. Kendra said she made her collard greens yesterday. Okay, Kendra. Okay. Who making a turkey? So y'all didn't know Stefan. Stefan made his turkey last night. He ate the wing. He ate the leg. He pulled the skin off the chest of the bird. It looked like the bird is walking around with a wife beat on. Turkey, candy yams, greens, baked mac and cheese, deviled eggs, cake, and sweet potato pie. Okay, Tiffany. Now I'm gonna tell y'all, Tiffany made a 7-Up cake and showed it, and I was just jealous. I just was jealous. Mike said he's gonna post some pictures of his food. September Virgo. I cooked oxtails, turkey, rice and gravy, kale, greens, string beans, mac and cheese, chicken salad, deviled eggs, yams, dressing. Started Monday. Okay, you started when you was getting it in something today. Miss Nikki said she cooked turkey, oxtails, yams, Thai greens, curry chicken, rice, stuffing, collard greens. Woo-wee. All right, I hear you. I hear you. Got it popping. Got it popping. IG is tripping. Keep getting kicked out. I'm sorry, Ramadan. I don't know why it's kicking you out. My apologies. My grandma used to make 7-Up cake. Okay, listen. I tried 7-Up cake from the store called, some people call it Aldi's, some people call it Aldi's, whichever store you call it. I tried the 7-Up cake from there and fell in love with it. I love it. I love 7-Up cake. I can't imagine what it tastes like homemade. If it tastes like that in the store, I can't imagine what it tastes like homemade. KC Hill, what's good? In my family, we do a seafood spread on Saturday. Today, man, was making nachos. Wow. I love me some seafood. What's going in that seafood? What you putting in there? Talk to me about that. What you putting in that seafood spread that you got over there? I didn't know they had them there. They do. They do. They do. So you in Jersey, Miss Nikki? Is that right? What part of Jersey you in? Make your toes curl. You gotta have it homemade. Yes, Ramadan. I can't wait to have it homemade. I think it's gonna be the best. When people can make stuff from scratch, I think it's the best. I don't think it get any better than that. Scratch is absolutely the best in the world. Yeah. I miss spending this day at my aunt's house. So my mom, yes, Jersey Shore, Neptune City. Okay. I'm from Brooklyn, New York City, so I don't know a lot about Jersey, but I know some places there. Yeah, everyone loves my granny 7-Up cake. I bet. Kendra said I cooked them in chicken broth with smoked turkey wings and roasted red peppers. I will add red pepper flakes sometimes. I use a Willie's seasoning pack. Okay, Willie, that's down south. If you say Willie, You know they from down south. I can hear it in your voice. So I'm going to share some of my holiday or seasonal memories that I've had. My mom is the youngest of 12 children. She's the last child. She's the baby girl. And my Aunt Jeannie lived a few blocks from us. And everybody, and this is my mother's sister, everybody and their mother, hey, repping best style, do or die. Okay, that's what's up. No, September Virgo, that's why we right here. That's why we right here. I just acting up. They just tossed me out real quick. If you can't, so I'm on YouTube Live and also Facebook Live. Coach Jah Smalls on YouTube. If you want to go on YouTube, you go on YouTube and you can actually put comments on YouTube as well. So if IG's tripping, you can go on YouTube and go to Coach Jah Smalls and you should be able to find my live feed and come on there and you can talk right in the feed. And so we used to always go to my Aunt Jeannie's house, right? And when we go there, I mean, everybody was there. I mean, you would have nowhere to sit. You'd have to stand up. There'd be so many people in my aunt's house. This was before COVID. And we'd go there and my aunt would be cooking and she'd have the window wide open in the living room, the front door wide open. And people that are coming in and out of the apartment building would just be looking inside and waving and going upstairs. And once that door opened, you feel all like cold air. I don't care if it was snowing. As a matter of fact, Christmas time, New Year's time, all of this whole time, and it didn't have to be the weekends. It could be midweek. It'd just be tons of people in my aunt's house partying and drinking and just having a good time. But that's how we grew up. We grew up with that. And I used to have DJ equipment at one time. And I remember having my DJ equipment there. And I had my aunt, not my aunt, my grandmother was there. And my mom sang to my grandmother, man. And my mom sang to my grandmother. And I just ran in the bathroom and started crying. It was just a beautiful sight to see my mother actually singing to her mother. You know what I'm saying? And sharing in that moment. I don't think, moments like that you never forget. It's because somebody never had that. Someone never had that experience. And to see that was really, really amazing for me. And then all my cousins would be over there. I had my brother on the show yesterday morning. And all of my cousins used to be there. And he was talking about how he was younger and he would walk to my aunt's house and it'd be seven cousins together automatically. Like you hadn't even met your friends yet. You just got cousins and there's 7 of y'all together just chilling. You know what I'm saying? So those are the memories that I miss when it snowed and we were snowed in because New York always get a crazy heavy snow at some point. And we get a big snow. What's up, V? We get a big snow and we just be stuck in the house playing loud music, trying to walk our way to the store. And the snow is almost up to your kneecaps. And the store is trying to stay open as long as they can. Sugar Hill in the building. Yeah, and it's just those days that, those memories that you live with. We had them memories for so long, and watching my uncles get drunk and argue, and then watching how they used to look at we looking at the older women too. We kids, we boys, and we like, oh, Miss So-and-so was a pretty lady and all that. We running when she come. She trying to give us a hug and we running around. Didn't want to give her a hug. We nervous. And then my uncles be looking around, all your uncles be looking at the pretty friends that come over, right? All your aunts' pretty friends. And, just seeing how life had been full in those days and being able to express true love with people that, you've grown up with, people that know you since you were in diapers and stuff like that. Like, those are the things that I miss about this time. Even though we grew up Muslim and we didn't celebrate, those were the moments we miss most. And I don't think that people we don't sit back and really accept those moments like that, right? But yeah. Somebody posted a picture of a ham. So I don't know if y'all eat pork, but I don't. I'm not a pork eater. I'm not eating pork. My mom didn't feed us pork. We grew up not eating pork. In fact, my mom would tell us when we were younger, we didn't even like beef. but that she, that's what she could afford, and that's what we ate. We ate beef, and it's crazy because some of my brothers, they can't go without beef. Me, I don't do red meat. You can keep it. I don't have red meat in my system. But I did miss. I kind of envied my friends who had their dads in their lives, and I wrote a poem about that. How people friends of mine, when we were hanging out, and we just be out, and then their dads coming home from work, coming from the train, pulling up in the car, or he calling from the window, hey boy, go to the store and get me this, that, and the other thing. Go buy me a pack of cigarettes, go get me a sandwich from the store, get some Chinese food for the family in the night. All those things that I didn't get to have and share with my dad, But I'll tell you one thing that I've learned. I've learned this. I've learned that we cannot judge people on the path of their life. We cannot judge people by the path of their life, the path they had to walk in their lives. And here's why I'm going to tell you why. I had to take a moment and sit back because my brothers don't hate my dad. We don't have a horrible relationship with him. We just don't have the relationship that we would like to have had, right? And brothers, we're gonna talk, and then conversation is different when dad's there, and when we talk with dad, it's still a kind of getting to know what to do and how to do it, how to bend this way, how to talk this way, all these things. So I had to think about this. I said, well, what would I do if I was in my dad's shoes? What would I have done if I had to live the life that he's done? If I was introduced to some adult things at the age of 12, and in which I wasn't introduced to some things, but not the things he was addicted to. How would I have turned out? How would I have went through life? Like, would I have been able to do what he did in life? Would I have died? Would I have just been in jail? Would I have, you know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like when you actually put yourself in that place, do you know that you would have done better than the person you're upset with? Because people don't just do things. Like, people, we are a creature of habit. So if we're used to being a certain way or doing a certain thing, that's what we do, because that's who we are. That's what we've been doing. And we have to adapt to those things that happen in our lives. So I'm just saying, like, my dad had to adapt and adjust. My mom, she had to adapt and adjust. And do I know for a fact that I would have did things differently? And you don't. You do not know if you would have been able to keep the same ingredients going in your life and deal with it in a better way than whoever it is you're upset with, whether it's your parents, your siblings, your friend, your child. You don't know how you would have responded to it. You don't know which way you would have turned, if that would have been good or bad. You don't know. And I think when we do that, when we take a moment to do that, you kind of say, wow, well, maybe I shouldn't respond this way. Maybe I should just hold off for a minute. Maybe I might be attacking this thing wrong, because most of the time that's what it is. We're doing the same thing that they're doing. We're dealing with it according to what our understanding of the situation is. But just because you have an understanding doesn't mean that it's the full picture. It's just the way you look. Nobody sees things through the same eyes, through the same vision. And I don't think we spend enough time going back to, okay, what would I have done? We say, what would Jesus do? But we don't say, what would Tyrone do? Or what would Bertha do? Or what would Erica do? What would Sammy do? We don't do that. We just go with what we feel and run. And it's totally not fair. It's totally not fair. And I think what that ends up doing is causing much more damage than you probably would have thought of. Because we can't explain why somebody does a thing. You ever feel like somebody be like, man, I don't know why Tyrone keep getting into trouble. I don't know why that boy don't listen in school. I don't know why. I don't know why. And you never paid attention to that. You don't know why. So judging that, right? Judging that, does that make you better because you judge it? It doesn't. It doesn't. It actually doesn't give them a fair shot because you placed a judgment on something that you don't know. And you just admitted that you don't know. We never look at it like that. I think we do more damage in that. I think we do way more damage in that by not saying, okay, this is what I think. This is how I feel. This is, you know what I'm saying? I think that's one of the biggest things that we don't pay attention to. And it's hurtful and it's damaging. We end up losing a lot of people, and we're like, I don't know what happened. I don't know why we fell out. Um, old acquaintance of mine. We used to walk around calling each other brother. We was real cool, like I mean, tight. Like I said, we used to call each other brothers, and um, I don't know. We just got distant over the years. There's events that happened and caused that we got real distant. But I know his family, and I got a call the other day that his mom passed, and then 6 or 7 days later, his sister passed. Both of whom I know. I know them. Like I've been in their homes. The Thanksgiving time, we would be in their homes, right? We would have spent time in their homes, and they had love for me. You know what I mean? And it hurt to know that these people have passed, and I never got to say, "Hey," or how you been? I haven't talked to you, seen in a long time. It's been really. Another reason why I don't like this time of year, because it seems like this time of year is really hard. A lot of people go through things and they're hurt, and it's just a rough time of year. So I'm saying if you are um, in a situation where you are uneasy with some folks, now understand what I'm saying. Some situations are not easily fixed or easily mended, I should say, right? Some situations are well beyond a mere conversation. And I get that. I'm not addressing those situations that are really hard and really tough and have caused, some damage and stuff. That I'm not saying that. But if you are in disagreement with someone or some folks, reevaluate what's happening and your winners and loss. Sometimes you can't mend certain things, and I get it. Sometimes you can't have conversations with some people. It is what it is. I get that. But the things you can fix with people, fix them, work on them. Do not lose your what's good. Do not allow things to fester that you can fix. The stuff that's fixable, right? The stuff that can be changed. Because when that time comes and somebody's not here, the last thing I want to do ever again, one of the last things is someone leaves and I didn't get to say, hey, I apologize, I love you. Or let's just let that pass, I love you. Like that's the last thing I want to do ever again. One of the last things that I want to do again. September Virgo says, when you learn the story, you can understand the choices and decisions made. Thus, you can forgive more easily because you realize, wow, you did what you did based on where you were in mind, body, and soul. Absolutely. I wish you was on YouTube so I can pin that up. That is absolute. That is absolute. Trust in the path, family. Trust in what people have stomached. It's not easy, and it's not always going to be easy, but you got to believe that people are damaged by things that they see and go through. This joker put lobster tail, scallop, shrimp, salmon, lobster biscuit, and shrimp. Listen, Casey, I'm sorry I asked what you putting on that list. I don't even want to know no more. All this seafood, she put all that seafood. All that seafood. She put all that seafood. Unbelievable. I don't want to talk about seafood no more. I feel really disappointed that I don't have that seafood right now. Just so you know. I just want you to know that. Okay? More thoughts in the building. Good morning to you. I just want you to know that I don't want to hear anything else about seafood today. Thank you very much for putting that up there. Sometimes an apology is all that's needed. I apologize for whatever I did that may have hurt you. Even better, if you know exactly what happened, apologize and forgive. Kendra, I'm going to say this to that. Y'all that were on last night, y'all heard me do a poem to my sons. That poem is for both of my boys because we are not in the best relationship. I didn't speak to their mom for decades. I would not call her, and I would have her text me, and then I decide whether or not I wanted to call. It was bitter. I was bitter. I was upset. I was really, really hurt over some things, and I never looked at what she had to go through. I'm not going to place blame. I'm not going to fault. I'm not going to do all of that. Let me tell you what I did. I decided one day I was going to call her and apologize and let that shit flow under the bridge. You know why? Because at this point now, holding that bitterness and anger, it's not going to help me. It's not going to do anything for me that's going to help me in any kind of way. I called her. I want to say we talked on the phone for about 2 hours. I've not heard this woman laugh in at least 2 decades. I've not heard that woman say something pleasant in my direction. And mind you, she's been to family funerals and nothing. There was such a sigh of relief that left my body. I mean, I wish I could explain it. It wasn't like, oh, let's make up and let's get back together. It was nothing like that. It wasn't like, oh, I miss you. It was nothing like that. But we talked about my grandson. Talked about my grandson that lives with her. We talked about what our boys have gone through that we never got to talk about. It was an amazing conversation. I can text her now and she'll respond, and it won't be F you, don't call me. It won't be that. And it's all because I did the right thing by saying, hey, this is a situation. My bad, I apologize. That's simple. Now, this is a woman who we would not speak. I mean, I can see her. She could be standing right there and we wouldn't even speak. We've done it. Family functions. Right there, nothing to say. But here's what I had to realize. It's gonna hurt me more more energy is gonna have to take for me to ignore that person, right? Every time I see them turn away, all of this whole shoulder, more energy to do that than to just speak and keep moving. Even if we can't be friends, I can speak and keep moving. It takes more energy for me to stand there and be a jackass and hold on to all of that. So what I'm saying to you is, it is not always an easy thing, but it comes with time and it comes with balance. You have to decide how much balance you want in your life and make the balance take its place. Make the balance move in a direction that is in your favor. If not, you are using all of your energy for something that is not doing you any good. It's not doing you any good. You're holding on to shit that ain't doing you any good. So you're actually hurting yourself by trying to hurt somebody else, because you have to put forth effort in that. I can text her right now and be like, yo, what up? What up? That's the response I get back. It's all good. It's all good. It is all good. It is all good. Yes, Tony, I had to learn these things, but you only learn these things when you take time to look at what the situation is. What is the value in the lesson? I don't want the beefs. I don't want to sit with the beef. I can do without the beef. I don't need the beef. I don't need the drama. I don't need all that. There's some people that tell you if I told them that story, they wouldn't believe me unless they saw it with their own eyes. That's how bad it was. They'd be like, there's no way. If I don't see it, it is no way. But I did it. So when I'm on my lives, when I'm on the show, the mornings come in, I try to tell you things that I've experienced and not something that I make up. I've understand what people in position like pastors and preachers and ministers I understand their testimonies now because I guess I can testify to some things that I've been through, that I've experienced, and I can tell you that has worked for me. Because I used to be like, man, how that preacher know this, and how that minister, how he, it sounds good, but how do they really know? Well, when you've been through it. You know when you've been through it. There are some folks that I have not called and apologized to. I'll admit. Like I said, some battles aren't so easily won, but there are some that I've been able to contact with and make that. I didn't. My uncle passed, and we didn't get to reconcile over a misunderstanding. And I was a kid at the time. I wasn't grown. I was a kid. But yeah. You don't want that. You don't want, right, Kendrick? You don't want to be chained to emotional things that have no value, that have no place value within your life, and makes your struggle bigger than what it needs to be. You're already struggling, whatever the aftermath of what has been happening for all this time is. You're already struggling with that, trying to walk in that path. You are already struggling with that. There's no way that you're living a great life and you got all of this negative stuff that you're still holding on to. It's not happening. It's not happening. That's what's wrong with y'all president, number 45. All this stuff that he's struggling with in his life that has been horrible, and he's trying to capitalize on that by getting people to come in and do stupid stuff. And it's stupid. And the thing about it is, if you don't grab a hold to what that is, you're doing a disservice to yourself. You're hurting yourself. If you don't fix that, you are hurting yourself and trying to corrupt everything around you to make that fit the ideal, the agenda that you're seeing fit. And that's not cool. It's not cool, and it's very hurtful. It's hurtful to others, and it's hurtful to yourself. Hurtful to yourself. I don't want to be a part of that. Kind of forgiveness comes with wisdom and maturity. Yeah, it comes with I'm sorry, cut off for you, Kendra. It comes with having the ability and taking the time to sit back and really analyze what's going on, because it's really common sense. It's really common sense. If you see somebody you don't know and you take all your energy to turn your face up and just be like, oh, I can't stand that, all of that energy, you just took yourself from one mode into another one that's doing no good for you. No good for you. It's absolutely doing no good for you. And then the idea of that you want to continue that is just madness. That is madness. Like, why? What will make you decide that I want to stay this way, angry and frustrated and with this negative energy? Why do you want to keep that? What makes that okay? That's what I would like to know. What makes that okay in your mind? What says that, yes, this is exactly where I want to be? Doesn't make sense. Does not make sense. And I think that's part of our biggest struggle, trying to figure out how in the world do we get from here to there without looking at how the roadmap looks. We don't look at the roadmap. We don't pay attention to the roadmap. Very, very, very dangerous thing. That's dangerous. It's very dangerous. And it's hurtful. You know what I'm saying? It's very hurtful. You have to take, at some point, you have to decide what you want. How you dislike someone you don't know, that boggles my mind. Lucian, listen. I'm going to tell you what I've learned from that. She said, how do you dislike someone that you don't know? Usually that dislike comes from outside influences, or there's some jealousy. It's usually one of the two. Somebody said something, or there's some jealousy somewhere in there. I'll give you a prime example. Steve Harvey. So listen to Steve Harvey morning show all the time. I listen to Carla say on the morning show, say, Steve, you got to stop treating your guests like this. You got to stop treating your guests like that. I listened to it. And it wasn't until someone I knew took their mother to go see Steve Harvey. They won tickets, and then they went backstage. got backstage, and she was like trying to give him a hug. And Steve Harvey says, "I'm not hugging you, woman. I don't know you." And this is the winner of the ticket that you did. You know, you had this prize where they win a ticket and they go backstage with you, meet you, and wouldn't even give. In fact, the picture that they took with him, it looks like he wasn't even really in the picture. It looks like almost as if they snuck the picture in. Like they were just standing next to him, like, "Come on, girl, take the picture." It looks like that. And he was actually the person who was supposed to meet them after his show. And he knew this. It wasn't like, oh, some randomness. These are people who won the tickets to your show. He treated them really badly. And in my mind, I was like, you know what? I can't stand Steve Harvey. And it wasn't so much I can't stand him, it's just I can't stand what he did in that moment. How do you do that as a celebrity? But this is what not Carla, Shirley, I think it's Shirley Strawberry. That's the one. She the one who always says that. And that was my reasoning. Right, Steve Harvey's not the only one. Cher is like that too. Wow, I didn't know that about Cher. But I do know about celebrities though. Celebrities get tired. They get tired. I tell you another thing that hurt my heart, man. They caught what's my man? They caught Kenny Anderson coming when the NBA had a lockout. I'll tell you my age now. The NBA had a lockout some years ago. And Kenny Anderson was walking, and yeah, Steve Harvey is. Yeah, and he was big jealous of Bernie Mac. I agree with that too, Mike. I agree with that. So the lockout was on. Kenny Anderson's walking down the street. Kid walks up. Was like, "Yo, can I get an address?" Kenny Anderson, "Man, get out of here, man. I'm not signing no autographs." That hurt my heart. That hurt my heart because it was a kid. And I love Kenny Anderson. There was a time when I used to play when I was playing basketball. When I shaved my dreads off, they used to call me Kenny Anderson in the court. And man, we know. Be quiet, illusion. So what? You know how old I am. And that happened. That hurt my heart because I did not expect that. But again, we have to remember that these people live a life that is not always. It's not always pleasant, and they don't always feel like being in the spotlight. Also, another story that I like to talk about too. When the Dream Team went overseas, and when it was the Dream Team, right? It was Patrick Ewing and Magic and Jordan, all of them. John Stockton, who played with Karl Malone. John Stockton, who will go down in history probably as one of the best point guards. I knew you was gonna say that, Mike. John Stockton, one of the best point guards to play that position. He's got to be one at the top up to him, and Karl Malone was like a dynamic duo. John Stockton and his wife and his daughter. I want to say it was his daughter. I'm not sure. It might have been two children. I might be making a mistake. What I do know is that they were in was it Barcelona, I think, or Greece. I forgot what Olympics was, right? They were there, and John Stockton was able to walk with his wife down the street with his family, just to walk with Patrick Ewing, Charles Barkley. I don't like Charles Barkley. Charles Barkley's an asshole too. And Charles Barkley and Michael Jordan, one of their best friends, they both assholes. But they were walking down with their family and didn't have to worry about nobody bothering them, wanting autographs. They got a chance to be millionaires, celebrities, and nobody really recognized who they were. And they were cool with that. And I'm just thinking, if to go from, oh, I got to have security and all this, to having a moment to just be at peace with your family walking on the street had to be amazing. Had to be amazing. Wow. You got to know it. Got to come with. Oh yeah. I know you come with the shits. Illusion. I know you come with the shits. You and Kendra with the Christina and Kendra with these K's is killing me. But yeah, man, that I like that story because that story resonated in a way that I didn't even. I would never have known that. I do have. When I go to poetry events, right, I never get to experience the event unless people don't know who I am. And so, like, sometimes I actually want to just be here for the poetry, and it's kind of rough. It's kind of hard to just be there for the poetry because people, genuinely love you and want to talk to you. And sometimes I just want to be there for the poetry. Sometimes I just want to sit and be in that. Like, I want to get what I can get from it. And it's hard because at the same time I love people too, and I don't want to be um I don't want to be rude. I love folks. I love people. But sometimes I just listen, can we just watch the show? Can we just pay attention to what's happening here? Sometimes I really, really miss that. Um, but I then if I don't spend time with my folks, I'm gonna miss them too, right? And then the worst part about that is when a poet is like, "Yo, you heard that piece I did?" And I'm like, "Nah, I didn't get to hear it." You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't be able to. Oh man, that's hard. But I do understand about enjoying a show and just being in the show. True One God is what's good. I do understand that part of it. And nobody wants to not enjoy the show. Nobody wants to not be in that moment. Um, we did, we did lose it. Obama spoke on that a lot. He was the president. He said he missed just being normal. Yeah, like so. Even like most poets start off as an MC, as a rapper, and you want that celebrity status. You want that. I don't mind being known, but I want my work to be known more than me. You know what I mean? Like I want to be able to stand in a place and somebody's like, man, this is an amazing workshop I went through with this amazing facilitator, and his work is amazing, blah, blah, and they not know they're standing next to me. You know what I'm saying? Like I want my work to be when I'm long gone from this place. I want my grandchildren and my great grand and my great great grand to say, you know what, my grandfather thought this much about writing, about literature, and I want that to be a statement. Like I want that to be that thing that people know me by without knowing me. You know what I'm saying? I want to walk in a place and just be like, yes, my name is Jah, and they don't know that I'm Coach Jah Smalls. I want that. You know what I'm saying? I want the work to be like, man, this body of work is amazing. I would have loved to have met this person, and I'm standing right there. They don't know it's me. You know what I mean? Like that. That's the body that work I want to leave. That's what I want to leave. That's the message I want to leave behind. I want people to be able to say, you know what, this guy really did some amazing work, and then they not know that they're standing right next to him. Like I want that. That's important to me. That is important to me. And I think we should strive for that. We should strive for the work to be the reason that we really doing the work and not for the celebrity. I don't want you to know me for the celebrity. I don't want to be known for that. Like that, I don't have to be known for that. I'll say that. I don't have to have that tied to my name. I really don't. Um, because it's November, and November, like I said, is not always a good month for me. I'm gonna end with this piece. We got 5 minutes left. I'm gonna read a piece and then I'm gonna end the show like I normally do. Um, and this piece is the piece that actually saved my life. And I didn't realize until me and AJ spent some time and we talked about this poem. I didn't realize how much of me was actually in this poem. But it was a poem I was supposed to submit um, and I didn't get to submit it. But I'm gonna do the poem anyway, and I'm gonna end the show. So y'all bear with me. I'm gonna read this poem. And of the birds in the sky, drunken by the secrets of the day, floating to a measure of harmony and falling feathers, swimming in an oasis of a Carolina blue mystery. And the air, finding a home in my brown skin, making a moment seemingly last a vacation and still be unafraid to take a headfirst dive into the busy of city life and the memories, those lasting decades of questions, both answered and unmentioned around common folks. Ode to the commoners, those of better days when the greats fought against atrocities like Jim Crow and servitude, and of the secrets, the ones that have yet to find an ear, the ones that weather all 4 seasons, even if it happens in a 1 week long fiasco. To the writers and the scores of pens where the ink becomes more than storytellers, when it writes foreign language into government that has yet to waver, even as the ink has yet to dry, and to the veterans and the homeless and the street dwellers, those who have but a lonely place in the heart of Uptown, where this woman finds her resting place on the very same bench every single night, and that man, the one who fought for all of his had, fought for his tent until it cost him everything. The same man whose smile led to his poem lining his obituary in the Sunday paper. And oh, Charlotte, home of the bankers, home of the hustling migrants who have now taken over, your streets now too busy for a good morning. Your faces unfamiliar and brand new. Most carry lingo that says, I am not from around these parts. An ode to this city, still unable to grow past the Carolina blue of the day, yet large enough to cover the stories that tell us of your fanciness. Yeah, I wrote that poem over a year ago, and that poem actually saved my life. So I'm ending this with that on a good note. Thank y'all so much for celebrating today with your family and friends, celebrating life, rejoicing in whatever it is that you have to be happy for today. Um, Thank y'all so much for being a part of my brothers and our journey, for showing so much love to us, showing so much love to our mom. Um, I really want you to practice today. I want you to focus today on bettering yourself. Thank your creator or whatever today might be for you. I hate when my nose is doing this. This is part of the injury that I'm sustained. Um, Whatever the creator has given you, has granted you, whatever permissions you have to be amazing, be that. Do that. Live in that amazingness, because that is who you are. And you can grow from that. But you need to acknowledge it. Sit back for a minute and acknowledge your greatness. Hold on to what you are and who you are, and prepare for who you're going to be. No one has that capability but you. You have everything you need to be amazing. Take a moment today to hug yourself, to love yourself. Do something special for yourself today. And know that I love you, I have love for you, and I want you to be great. Thank you for all of y'all tuning in. Enjoy your day, however you might be for you. Enjoy your day. Please be happy. Hug somebody that you love today. But first, I want you to hug yourself. If you can do that for me, then today is going to be an amazing day. I'm going to talk to y'all soon, and be good, be blessed. Y'all stay up. One love. Peace.